Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are here just picking up where we left off. We are at the point where we have filled up the iron mine and are going to go for as much money filling in wherever we can, as we're going to need obviously a bigger locomotive to start moving hopper cars out of here. We have to get hopper cars and all of that in the process. So gonna need some money and some XP. We are tier 3, looking to get to tier 4 for the decent size hopper cars at least. Before we try to start running that though, without running to the depot, I don't know that that's gonna actually happen. So we are just gonna fly and make it work with what we can. If we have to pick up some smaller hopper cars or something like that along the way to move with our little locomotive, bigger locomotive, we need to move the bigger cars for sure. So for the time being, I think we are going to come down here and get what we can get out of the smelter. So at this point we should be able to grab tier 3 cars now, which we definitely needed. And we're just gonna go with, we're not even gonna do that, we're just gonna go with that. And pick a color. We'll go brown. We just need one. That'll work. Take to flight. Re-rail. Gonna drop that somewhere right in here where it's convenient, hopefully pretty close to flat on the edge of the dock. The brakes on, so we don't need to worry about that. Logging camp. Which way do we need to go? Doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to line up and drop to the dock. Oh, you're trying to be a pain right there. Whatever, I'm sure that'll probably work. We'll find out. Right here, maybe that's too far away. Could be because of that switch there. We'll just have to see, hopefully. Ooh, that's so close. It worked. Perfectly fine. And then we just gotta get that unloading here. Gonna do that. Should be taking everything over there. Good. Alright, we'll dump that one. Then we'll run over, make sure that we're, well, it's not even gonna actually produce anything. We don't have any iron down here, so we are just gonna fill this side of the cordwood for now and see what that does for our XP and our money. Probably not gonna move us along very far, so we are gonna have to come up with some alternative for running the iron. That's for sure. This is still going to save us an obnoxious amount of time running cordwood down here. What is it? 10 cash per bundle. I didn't see the XP actually. Let's take a look. What are we getting? 10 XP, 10 cash. So yeah, definitely not gonna turn around. We can't even see how much we have in there. It's hilarious. I do like the little hut here though. It's too bad that's a little taller than something there. That actually, I do like that on the landing. Gonna just get a convenient continual load here, which will make it easy. Cord will never fill up over there because it'll be kicking into here faster than it can get there, unless you're gonna let it fill, which we are definitely not gonna do. No point in wasting the time. We'll just get that. I think it holds like 180, something like that. We'll know because this whole thing will fill up with cordwood. Gonna move us along, save us some time in running. For sure. all the logs. Could actually turn around and totally shortcut this and just drop a depot on that side over there and drop some logs. Make some more XP while we're at it, but that's not our goal. Our goal is to see if we can actually just push through without running anything extra to the depot at this point on easy, or if we run into, you know, a stoppage where we have to run stuff to the depot just to make extra. We do still have some more wood runs that we could do. Though quite honestly, I've run enough of those lately, though I have a feeling we're going to have to at least run some of those if we have any chance of getting up to the big hoppers without going to the depot. Just getting to tier 4 on easy is going to prove a little more difficult than normal. Like I say, usually I start out on hard and then switch to easy because frankly, it makes the game a lot easier if you start out on hard. Which I've always thought was a little weird, but just what it is. Until you're pulling out of the smelter, if you ask me, it's easier to keep it on. Well, the iron mine, I guess once you get to the iron mine, pulling the iron ore down here, it's nice to get as much out of it as you can, although you make a ton of money bringing that iron ore down here, so we just have to get to that point. Even if we buy a couple of the small hoppers just to get it done, I just don't think that our locos are capable of doing a heck of a lot of ore down here, quite frankly, because we ran up the hill way too steep for the small locos that we have so far. Is just what it is. So either get into a bigger loco for that climb right there is gonna be required at some point. It's not even if. There's no if about it. You're either gonna have to run very small loads or you're gonna have to get something with some oomph to do anything. It'd be cool if we could ever get it up to at least 4. At least it's pulling. It would be pulling on the uphill empties, so this moving us along. At least at this point, I think we could justify and afford to buy some of the small hoppers just to move them down here, because we'll start making enough money and XP off it that it's going to be worth it. The cordwood is definitely not going to get us there. We're almost full at this point already, and we're barely over 3,000. So the cordwood is not going to solve our dilemma. It really is going to be about getting that iron down the hill. But always nice to get one of industry topped up, so even if it's just the cordwood here, we'll take it. Suppose we could actually just get rid of here. Convenient. That one's inconvenient though. At least this will save us from having to buy multiple cordwood cars as well. One will do if you just simply bring the cordwood to the smelter. You don't need 20 of them. Almost there. Getting close now. At least you would think. Or how many more? 3 probably. That probably fills the thing up. I bet you it doesn't drop anymore. We'll put them on there just to see. I did take them. Where'd they go? Oh, go figure. Alright, that's cool. I'd have left it short. Any more? It's still taking them. It's going to take all day. No, I don't know. You would think that's got to be getting pretty full, if that's not full right there. Of course, I thought that with the last one. Yeah, it's still not full. Where'd they go? Oh, maybe they're under the house. No way. Well, we're still getting paid for them, so we're going to keep dropping them. I don't know where they're going. At this, oh, maybe they're right there. Yeah, they are going right there. Alright, and then that's it. Well, we'll go ahead. Might as well fill up the car no matter what. As we'll be leaving the car somewhere around here. We're not going to get rid of the car. We'll just reuse it next time. Alright, one more swing of you. That'll take care of that. We'll get rid of that. This. We'll get rid of you. Alright. Takes care of that. And this. We're going to want to probably get out of the way somewhere. Should have fallen. Not over there, though. Put it over there, it'll be in the way for sure. We'll just move it up here so it's not. Either way you go, it's going to be in the way sooner or later, but whatever. That'll take care of that. So that moves us up 34. What do we get? We were getting like 400 per. Oh, we're actually probably a lot closer to that Loco now than I think. Let's take a look. Alright, Mason Bogey is going to give us 8,400 pounds of tractive effort. What are our other options in here? We got the Glenbrook, that's less. We got 48s at 9,000. Wait a minute, what? That's less. Mosca is less. The class 47 is actually more. 96, 93, 96. It's 300 pounds more tractive effort, but we get a lot more haul capability out of the class 47. So if we run, if we run one load, oh, we're so close. Didn't put in a, one thing we should consider doing is putting in telegraph booths. I have not done that. Let me see. 47. Do we go with the class 47 or 48? These are our options. Wasn't really thinking about it. Maybe the 47 is the way to go instead of the old. I mean, 48 makes a good switcher in the long run. Decent starting locomotive. Not a lot of fuel capacity. Jeez. Does that mean we gotta get one more load? One more load with these, and I think honestly we could turn around and just buy a new Loco. Wait, that didn't even go in the firebox. There we go. That should be good enough. was not going to run another load with these. Whoa, 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 whoa. But in this case, we are like one delivery away from being able to actually buy the locomotive that we need. The problem is if we buy the Loco, we don't have any money for the cars. But if we buy the Loco, we can get away from running this double header because we'll have a lot more Loco. Such a toss-up. Do you buy the rolling stock first? The problem is if we keep these two Locos, the only way we have to make money is to either fill up the wood up here. We can bring up more wood, or we have to buy those little side dump hopper cars to actually try to run down there. Because you're looking at it, and 4 of the small side dump hoppers pretty much weigh what, you know, you can get away with that for less than one of the big ones weigh. And it probably carries a little bit more. So empty, they would be a little bit less, and full wouldn't matter because it'd be all downhill. So that, I guess, is the toss-up. Is that we could try to run 4 of the small hoppers with these and see what we can do with it. The thing is if we get a bigger locomotive, we can run the bigger cars. Yeah, I don't know. The problem is we can't really split this into 2 trains that are going to do us a heck of a lot of good because they're just not. These can't run up here in one. This is one of the cases where, like, it'd be really awesome if you could actually just sell the locomotives. And okay, we could turn around and drop enough stuff at a depot to turn around and delete both of these locomotives and say we sold them for half price or something. But so deliver enough stuff for the $2,000, which would quote unquote give us back the money for these locomotives, and then just delete them, which I lean towards. Keeps it favorable and replaces, quite honestly, a feature that the game's kind of missing, is the feature to sell or replace, recycle your stuff, if you will. You can't really upgrade this stuff, and you can't get any value back out of it once you've spent, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, let's be honest, railroads are pretty notorious for moving along and selling their old locomotives. Sort of a shame that we don't get to do that portion of the game. It'd be nice to trade up rather than just kind of losing your money, especially in the early days of the railroad. It's like you're kind of stuck with every piece becomes a historical item somewhere, or you just end up deleting it, sending it into the scrap heap, and even with that, you don't get paid anything out of it. So probably should have just filled this up with 2, but that would have taken so many runs, it would have been horrible. So, not happening. What it is. The nice thing with picking up the 47 is that, you know, memory serves me correct, is a much, much faster locomotive than the quarters. So we may definitely do something in there. Probably we'll figure out a way to substitute some of the money, to be honest, because, which I suppose we could do, but sitting around and doing $2,000 worth of lumber into the depot is not necessarily super exciting. I don't know. Formulating tons of plans, probably not going to keep a ton of the old locos laying around on this one, just don't see the point, or maybe we'll just retire them somewhere, I don't know. Either way, the problem with giving yourself the $2,000 in money is you're going to raise your XP right along with it. So unless you go in and do it in other ways, but not really looking get into that. And I guess worst case scenario, we just bite it and go to the depot. You know, if we deliver a couple of loads to the depot, we could make all of this absolutely pointless because we could run this wood straight to the depot fast enough. We could throw 10 cars on here, deliver it to the depot, and then have to fill back up the logs, and that would take care of all of our XP problem. But let's take a look at our wood stock as we go by here. We may actually be able to eke out. I wonder, maybe we can do this right this minute, I guess. Now that I think about it, I don't know. It depends on how much wood we actually need in there. It's like 4,000. What is it? 2,000 if you fill the whole thing. So we need like at least 25 logs to be gone. All right, let's just go ahead and load this up, one way or another. Go. Watch both of these try to drop on the same car. Yeah, exactly. How did I know that was gonna happen? Started the wrong crane first, that's how. See, now if we start that one, it'll probably drop them on the right one. Yeah, exactly. That's how the game works sometimes. But that, again, I knew it was coming, so there you go. It's not really the game. It was operator crane malfunction. Alright, get that there. Let that load up on its own. We'll go take a peek here at what our wood stock is at. Wood stock. Right down into where you can't get out of. Or you're good. Okay. You know what? Gonna be difficult about the thing. Much more convenient to fly. Actually, we probably can do this right now and don't even need to continue to fiddle around with those locos. That may have been their last run right there, at least for now. Desperately trying to get over to a better locomotive. 48 or 47, that's the question. Wait a minute. Don't do that. That's not at all what you want to do. You just about put two sawmills together. Alright, spin you around quick. Of course, it's not really going to be a quarter. I don't know. It's going to be close. I think we can get enough money out of this that it's worth going for it. Because if we can get these dropped off and get the new locomotive, then we can fling these things up the hill super fast and start worrying about hopper cars after that, which would be a winner. Again, just making the process much easier, saving the time from going to get the logs and having to buy the rolling stock. I mean, that's the huge thing that we're really trying to cut by doing a lot of this, is not having to buy the rolling stock. That's going to save us thousands. You buy 10 of these cars, you buy 10 of those cars, you're out $3,000 or $6,000 before you know what happened. Alright, so I think that already gives us enough money for the Class 48. I guess maybe we'll just let the money decide, you know? Of course, either way, we could deliver that over there and get the Class 47 over the 48. And I think ideally, we'll go with the Class 47. Decent locomotive, not one that's on my normal use list. I guess the 48 is definitely on my normal use list, so if we go with the 47, that'd probably be better, as it's something a little different. Give us a chance to get that in. See how that Loco does for all we need. I know I've had a lot of people turn around and tell me pick up the Class 47. It's fast. I know I have used one, but never, you know, for a long-term locomotive. It's always been one of those you pick it up on the way to other locomotives. So at this point, we'd actually probably have one around for a bit. Of course, as we're closing it on Tier 4, we know that the Cook Mogul is at 4, and that's got quite a bit more attractive effort. But, you know, you have to get what you have to get. When and where. I guess the other reason the Class 47 probably wouldn't hang out on a railroad of mine super long, because you do turn around and, you know, the Cook Mogul, almost the same Loco, but she runs on, you can get a wood or coal, so whatever you prefer, and you have, what, you know, 3,000, maybe almost close to 4,000 pounds of more attractive effort, something like that. But looks like we're into Class 47 money now here. So that's cool. Ringing out a bit more, got us where we needed to get. Still at 17 more logs, so we might even be able to put some options on the thing. Or better yet, I guess if we can ring out enough money to turn around and pick up. The problem is we're not to Tier 4. We have to get to Tier 4 for the decent hopper cars if we're going to avoid going with the little ones. So the little ones are just kind of a pain to load. Even though you have the remote loading nowadays, it's just those little ones to hold so small of amounts that you have to load so many of them. It becomes kind of a pain. They're a great looking car, that's for sure. I like the little side dome cars. I think they're one of the coolest cars in the game, especially with the smaller locomotives. But and you can always use them for gold later on, I guess, down the line. So there is that advantage to them. Alright, 2 more swings of this here crane, and I think we are going to be golden. Going to put us over $4,000. There we go. It's that there. Brings that over. Alright, so we are full there. We're full on cordwood. Everything is full except the mine. So the only place we have left to pick up anything is there. We're at $4,000. We'll get rid of that. Oops. Wrong button. Alright, we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. Oh, we should have put logs on here. Would have been sitting there ready to go. My bad. That's okay. Then we have the porter problem now. What are we gonna do with? Let's go in and take a look. Locos. Alright, so it's class 47. Although we could now afford Moscow, but that's less attractive effort, so we're not going to do that. We are either going to go 47 or 48. We're looking at $200 worth of difference. This is going to hold a lot more. What are we looking at here? Okay, it's going to be our third Loco. I suppose this one we have to name. And this one, wait, we don't have to name it. Check that out. We don't, because it gets just the number on the side. Okay, so that makes life easy. Smokestack. What are we looking at? $50 option. Alright, for a $50 option, we'll go with that one. We got anything going? We got 8 headlights to choose from. Horns. Nothing that uber makes a lot of difference, I guess. Not worth. Alright. We aren't going to add any money for that. Paint. What do we got? Paint isn't going to cost us anything either. Alright. Well, I suppose we could almost just buy one that looks a little worn out, as we probably end up sitting it on the side of the rail at some point. I'm not sure what's the difference between 1 and 2. Oh, the tone. Yeah, it does change color. That's not horrible. Looks a little beat up, a little worn out. Quantity, we're just buying 1. Alright, back to broke. Where did they put it? Alright, there they put it. Let's take the flight. We're going to do this all the easy way. Re-rail you. Stick you over there for now. Lord knows what you'll be doing. Or when. Stick you over there as well. Of course, we might end up having to stick them on here for some more pulling power. It isn't like this is an end-all, beat-all locomotive or anything, so. But we should see quite a bit of improved performance, right, out of this versus what we were running. I mean, I guess I didn't look at what we're talking about. Tractive effort for this was like 9,007, something like that. I have no idea what the porters are off the top of my head. I guess we could go in and take a peek. Tractive effort 3,000. Not quite, so 6. So this is like picking up an extra porter, I guess, in the bunch. Probably not going to be as much power as we need, but you know, what are you going to do? It's what we can afford right now, so it's what we're going to try. Not exactly sure how that works, because you can see the shovel at all. You do have to get the firebox. There we go. Lit. What do we got for water? Not a lot anywhere. So when we get it up to the top, we'll fill it. Should run that long. New Loco. New Loco is always fun to get. Super overcast, man. Kind of tired of the overcast. Like, it's been overcast the whole time. Oh, whatever. It's set on dynamic weather and it's doing its own thing. I guess we'll just leave it be. What it is what it is. Firing up the new Loco. What are you gonna do? Takes a hot minute. Alright, cool. Ashes are starting to fly out of the thing. Where are we at? Let's go, let's go! Halfway home. Not really, halfway to starting something. At least the wood's full. That's pretty good, you know. We turned around and in a very short period of time, we got our cordwood full. We got our wood log pond back full from being half empty, which keeps all this nice and full. We got the cars down here. We'll get at least one load of those delivered and then figure out what we can do with the hoppers, which should turn us, you know, profit coming up. That's going to be where the money's really at. No noise. Oh. Not yet. Come on. We need steam for that and just not producing yet. getting close. Come on, come on. There we go. As you can hear it powering up. Always interesting to hear how they power up, I think. Sometimes, anyway. Probably wouldn't do it every time. Alright, let's start backing this thing up. See if we can get attached here. Alright, good to go. Auto couplers, huge advancement. 2 forward, that should get us underway. And this being more powerful than those should not have any problem getting this going. So there we go. Our new working locomotive already getting much more speed out of this. So this is going to help, if nothing else, in that department. Holy handy. Alright, so we are going to turn that down so we don't blow the eardrums out of everything. Holy cow. Try to bring that down just a little bit more, I think. Unfortunately, this is another one of the locomotives. Apparently very, very loud, which probably would be why I don't run it a ton. But we'll see how that works. And hopefully we can get the mix out okay without causing too much of a problem. We're definitely getting a lot more speed out of this. And again, we're not even choking down 4 speed. So this is going to save us, if nothing else, probably a ton of time. Which is going to be great. Even with the 4 cars, you probably just cut down half of the run time. Because it was really slow going up the hill. Nice and fast coming down the hill. Slow going up the hill. So there we go. Definitely much more responsive than the doubleheader was with the porters. Yeah, it's going to be able to pick up quite a bit more here. Still climbing 20 miles an hour, so we're climbing almost 10 miles an hour faster or something like that. And probably can add more cars. No problem. I would think we could add at least 2, maybe even double the size of the train. Now we're hauling up at 20 at this rate, so either way, at least going to turn around and save us a lot of time getting these loads in for sure. Yeah, not a bad choice. Should have probably tried to fill everything in. Well, no. I mean, that other porter came in handy when we needed it, you know. We needed to get the wood up here. We would have been nowhere near buying this without it, so. Working out. And now we get a chance to actually make a decent amount of money. I suppose it's still XP we need for, yeah, what do we need? 1,200 more XP. Sadly, 1,200 more XP before we can get to the big hoppers, and really it'd be nice to just go straight to the big hoppers and skip the little ones, to be honest. Even though we could start making some money with them. Probably throw 2 more cars on this. Problem is, then we're investing another 600 and moving, but eventually we know we're gonna just need 10 tier 2 cars because you move around a lot of wood. Early days of the railroad, you just have X amount of work you gotta get done, and we're actually saving quite a bit, you know. Cordwood and logs are coming much easier than they should, to be quite honest. What was that? Almost sounded like something broke. Alright, great control on this Loco though. Everything's working well. Well, Loco's running good. Oh, it was lightning. That would explain the crack. Alright. Even if we stop, whatever. Not a big... We're not going to try to drop that just yet. We'll slide that there. And then we'll get that off there. Almost about took off for another load, but we actually need to put water in this thing, so we will move that forward. Just what it is. New Loco, gotta get fuel. Really not sure what to do with the return path here. We almost could just run around that little island. Hopefully that is good enough. Bringing the new Loco to life. Always a little bit of time investment. Beats the real world, probably take you 12 hours. Or more, especially if you had to bring it up from dead scratch. Fill the coal, fill the water. So, there we go. Let's make sure everything is working here. They're going up. Yeah, that's going up. This is definitely going to take a hot minute. So, what can we do in the interim? We can fly up. Your alternative here is we could just turn around and wrap right around this thing. Put a switch right here. And then just run loops and not even have to run down the hill that way. Run. That'll let us come up here. Swing around, run down that way, and we just back it down the hill. Not sure how I feel about that plan. $637. It's really about the XP at this point, though. It's 1,000 XP that we need. That didn't give us a lot of XP, did it? This is gonna take forever if we actually let this thing fill up. It's not even remotely there. What's the air just doing? This thing not filling up anymore? What's the problem? No, it is. Alright, cool. 600, this could take a hot minute. We can't put any wood in this thing. Not gonna do us any good. What's this one got? So I think we almost might have to just buy the cars. Problem is, if we don't buy the hopper cars, 850 a piece. These are 850 a piece. We're gonna end up just buying 3 hopper cars, otherwise the nightmare will go on forever. But then, even 3 hopper cars, 12. What do they hold? 6 a piece. I mean, that's like 18, so it'd be like running 2. Oh, such a rough way. Who knew scrounging at the beginning got this bad? All because it didn't set it to hard to start. Well, there you go. Let that be a lesson to you. Or at least for me. Note to self. Start on hard, because it just makes the game way, way, way easier. Alright, we're calling that good for today. 2 industries sides full. I can't even say industries full because they aren't totally full. And 2 train runs, I guess, is what we'll do. 2 and 2. So we'll get this thing going backwards. Or should we just buy those hopper cars? The problem if we buy those hopper cars, oh, we're not gonna have enough money without. We're not gonna have enough money at all. And this is like such a poor XP grind. I don't think that paid us very much XP. We weren't that far away, let's be honest. We only had 1,200 to go or something, right? And that did not pay us, because my guess is well, the lumber probably does okay with XP. I bet you the beams are basically worth squat. There's only 3 of them on there, and I didn't pay close enough attention to the XP dropping. I'll try to see how fast we can get this going. Probably don't need to go fast enough to throw everything off, though. Definitely gonna make for a faster run, though. I almost think we should pick up 2 more cars. We might as well. We're gonna have to deliver the loads anyway. Just for the XP. Because at this point, we're not even gonna be able to. This is rough. Let me look. While we figure out a plan of action. Look at totally where we're at. $639. So we would end up spending all of that. We have 980 more XP to go, and probably, even with the size of the train we got going on, we're only going to be able to deliver like 2 more loads or something. Which isn't a lot. And then that's not going to leave us a lot needed in logs. Cordwood's already... We already rang out most of the easy XP and money. Oh. Yeah, see, we're just absolutely flying along compared to the other one, and this one was staying on just fine. So the Loco is going to just handle more speed. Which is good. Alright, now this thing can just go as fast as it can go. I mean, the one nice thing is we are on easy, so the industries are going to fill up easier. But it's biting on the end of XP, so there's that. Not making a lot of money. I don't know how much money we had. I think this load is paying like 400 and something. We don't really have to mix it. I know we need 10 of these cars, so in the long run I could buy 2 more. That wouldn't bite us. Worst case scenario, stuff has to go to the depot. Really, the more and more I get down to it, the challenge seems to be, can you get away without running to the depot and actually just achieve it? So that's going to be the thing to watch. We'll see what happens after one more load of this. Should have paid closer attention to the XP on the last run. Definitely did not. It's too bad you can't ice those locos so that they stop smoking. I know some of the locos like go dormant when they're sitting there long enough. Oh, no, no, no. Wrong stuff. Let's get back where we need to get back to. Something like that. Should work fine. Alright, you load. Why are they? I was gonna say, why are you not loading? You gotta load. Alright, that all worked. Let's go, let's go. Well, either way, at least this will give us enough money for the hopper cars. I mean, we already got enough money for a couple of them, but if we're going to do the small hoppers, we're going to have to do a bunch of them. That's the thing. We don't want to just have a bunch laying around. Especially with this map, the gold chain is not on this map, so it isn't like saving them for the gold chain. Unless we put the gold chain in, it isn't going to do much. Alright, move on, let's bust it open, and just let it run. Still half on the coal, full on the water, so we are just going to let it fly. And see how much faster we can get this in. Than we were with the quarters. If nothing else, like I say, there's that. This is going to save us time. I mean, this is a good 10 miles an hour faster. So almost double the speed of the porters. So if nothing else, it was worth it picking it up just for that. Stretching it out there. Class 47. You know, there you go to all the viewers that said, get the 47, it's fast. Cheers, you are definitely right. If you're interested in saving some time, speed is a thing. Class 47 not going to work, let you down. I don't know if I said 48. I definitely could have. Class 47, gonna get it done. Class 48 is a great loco too. Nice chunky thing. And it will always make for a great switching locomotive, to be honest. It's hard to argue. It's one of the best switching locomotives in the game, regardless of where you're at in the game. The Class 48 is a great switcher in almost all circumstances. '47, if nothing else, this one will make for a decent flat ground locomotive and on Pine Valley. Even though it's the hilliest map, mountainous map in the game, you have plenty of opportunity to run flat ground locomotives. For the starting stuff and for the end stuff, you always can use them. So there you go. This one moving along decent. No complaints with this acquisition at all. So And we definitely can add a few more cars here. It's chewing it up, no problem. 20% left on the reverser, still running over 20 miles an hour. The only thing that's holding me back from adding cars here is I just don't know how much money we want to invest in that rolling stock at this point, because we need hoppers soon. And we know the hoppers are going to make us a lot more money in the short term than these are going to. As soon as we can get hoppers, they're going to start paying for themselves. So not sure how much money I really want to invest in tier 2 cars for now. When we start going out to the coal mine, we're definitely going to need, 10 tier 2 cars, because there you have quite a bit of a haul. Unless we figure a way around that. I don't know if we can pull that off out there or not, like shortcutting the wood drop out there. We'll just have to see. We are going to shortcut drops wherever we can get away with it to save on runs, so providing it doesn't take an arm and a leg just a short drop. This one all working out very well. Not too steep. You barely even have to slow down for this thing, so nice sweep on the curve here. Pretty happy with how all of that came out. Alright, I think we're just going to do this the easy way. Those should drop, and those should drop. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, now let's see where does that put us XP-wise. Alright, so what did we go up, like 200 XP? And 400 on the what? On the money? Wow, so this... And then how much more can we get in here? We're halfway. 6. Should get 4 more cars of lumber up here. And about 4 more cars of beams. I don't think we're gonna make it. We're gonna have to get some iron ore cars. I think we're gonna have to get some side dump cars, because I just don't think, I don't know that we're gonna be able to get there without it. We just don't necessarily have enough, because we're only gonna get 6, 12, 24. One more load in here. I think we're gonna come up short. We're definitely going to come up short, so we'll probably turn around and start running some side dump cars or something like that. We're going to have to be pushing out some iron ore, but we got a new Loco, and so that's going to at least let us hit the hill with some actual, gusto from now on. Like, we have a lot more speed, a lot more pulling power. It's going to open up the option, so it was definitely worth the buy. And if anything, we set ourselves back with the Porter Type 2 for a little bit, but we kind of needed that just to get through tier 2 to get to here. So there you go, that's what it is. Guess with that, we are gonna definitely call the new Loco a winner, call it a win, say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.